Champagne. Back to Murphy. He rattles it home. 4 seconds left. 74-72.
Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head coach Jeff Capel. I'm Rob King of AT&T Sportsnet. Coach, I want to ask you, I want to go back a little bit and ask you about the BC game. A couple things came to mind. First of all, BC gets out to a great start. Audie's Tony really kept you in it early. You were being outscored. You only had 19 points. At that point, Audie's had 9 of those 19 points.
You know, we did get off to a slow start, and that's something that's a concern that's happened the last 2 games, the BC game and then the game at Syracuse. You know, it was interesting because if you look at the stats coming in, BC had really not shot the ball well from 3. And all of a sudden, which seems to happen against us, they started making threes. Popovich, who's I think their best player, had been out for a while. All of a sudden, he comes back. No one knew he was going to play. He plays. You know, Rob, they're banking, you know, shots from the corner. They took a shot from the corner, and it hit the backboard and went in, and so it seemed like one of those nights. But I was proud of our guys because even in the midst of all of that, you mentioned Audie's kept us in it. I thought the last 3.5 minutes of the first half were huge because it got us in striking distance, and I thought in the second half, we controlled the game. We were down 14, we went up 10, so that's a 24-point difference right there. But then how we closed the game was very disappointing. You know, some mistakes that we made, not getting some rebounds, not blocking out, some turnovers, those things. But Ryan Murphy made a huge play. You know, he had the wherewithal, and he had the courage to step up and take that shot, and it was a big win for us.
Pitt will win. You talk about survival. That's what tonight was.
You know, we've talked a lot about growth of the team over the last couple of years, and obviously we're seeing it grow. How much of it, you know, and we talked about games like this. Okay, so they battled back, and how much of that is just that's life in the ACC, and you better get used to it every single game almost.
It is, and especially for us where we are, you know, as a program right now. There's not an easy one. It's always going to be an adventure. You know, one of the things for me is that, okay, why do we get that? Why do we have these lulls? That's something we have to figure out, we have to try to correct. But the one thing is that when we've gotten down in every game, there is something in us where we fight back, where we get back and we claw, whether it's at Miami, whether it's at Louisville where we fought back, whether it's the last game against Syracuse where we fought back, the BC game where we fought back. We have to get to a point where we're the aggressor all the time, like we were in the first half against North Carolina. And that has to be something where we can get to a point where we can sustain that for 40 minutes.
Ryan Murphy hits the game winner, as you alluded to earlier. That's something he's going to remember for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. I mean, any game winner. I remember the game winner I hit in high school. You know, to this day, I remember it like it was yesterday. And to have a chance to do that and to do it on the collegiate level in the ACC is a big-time thing. And the other thing is that it takes courage to take that shot. It's not like it was the last second, you know, you're coming and the ball's thrown to you, there's no other option. You know, he got it, he dribbled to a spot, he got to a spot, and he pulled up. And so it takes a lot of courage to do that. You have to be willing to live with the result, good or bad. Fortunately for us, it was a great result.
The victory, the 4th and a second consecutive victory for Pitt, a milestone for Pitt fans to some degree. I know you're looking beyond that. Still, you take over a program that has no ACC wins. You get to 3. Now you've exceeded that already with, you know, still many more games ahead of you.
Yeah, it's something that we don't take for granted, and I really hope Pitt fans don't. I understand the history of this program, and we are certainly not satisfied and we want more. But for us to win back-to-back in the regular season, that's big for our program. It's something that we didn't do last year. We had some opportunities, we were close, but we didn't do it. And so I think it does show growth. But again, we can't be satisfied with that. We have to continue pushing forward.
What's it like for you to go to Duke, to make sure that you're going into the visiting locker room, not the Duke locker room, just all the little thing, seeing Mike Krzyzewski, seeing the fans, seeing all that stuff around that experience?
You know, it will be odd just because I've never been there, certainly as an opponent, but I've never been there when I wasn't going to cheer for Duke. When I was being recruited and I would go to games, I was going cheering for Duke. When I committed, when I signed, certainly when I played there and then when I worked there. And so it will be something that's odd, but I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing where we are against the best. And they are the benchmark in the ACC. Coach is the benchmark in coaching. And so as a competitor, you look forward to seeing where you are against that type of competition.
I know as a coach, attention to details, an important thing. One of the littler details, and I think maybe, I don't know where it comes down with the players, but I know that fans of the program love to see a Ronald Ramon on your staff, LeVance Fields on your radio show, DeJuan Blair hanging around the campus. The attachment to the tradition of Pitt basketball, that appears to be important to you.
It's huge. And this program has a really, really good tradition. There's a lot of pride, and I've felt it since I've been here. I felt it from afar, but since I've been here and taken over, you can feel it. And everyone wants to get back to those days when they were consistently winning. And one of the best programs in college basketball. Having a guy like Ronald back on our staff really helps connect with the past. For me, it's been important to get to know, to try to get to know as many former players as I can, because this is theirs. I'm just a caretaker of it right now. And we're trying to teach our guys ownership. When you own something, you normally take care of it a little bit better because it's yours. And to get them to understand that, and to get them to understand the past and the people that kind of laid the groundwork for us to have what we have.
Well, we've seen continued steps in the right direction under Coach Jeff Capel. Coach, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, stick around. We still have more to come when we resume on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Good job, fellas.
Hey, together on three. 1, 2, 3.
Together.